My dad told me that we should start the company with $1,000 to buy something small. I then bought a mobile home with the $1,000, cleaned it up, and sold it for $2,000. This just made sense. Has anyone here heard the phrase, buy low, sell high? So I bought it for $1,000, bought it low, and sold it high. I'd heard that so many times at seminars and events, it had become second nature. After that, I looked for a house to buy, and a contractor that worked for my dad said that he just wanted out of a 6-unit. When my dad told me this, I thought, maybe it would be cool if I bought a 6-unit for my second deal instead of a house. So I did my due diligence, and I figured out that the contractor was behind on his payments. That's when I saw my opportunity. And I had just sold my mobile home, so I had some money to buy it. I didn't think $2,000 would be enough to buy it, but I really wanted it. So I figured out who he owed money to. I found out that there were 2 mortgages on it. The first mortgage was to my homeschool evaluator and friend from Maria group. And the second mortgage was from a lady that I had never met, which kind of scared me to ask her if I could take over the mortgage because she didn't know anything about me and I was 7. So I started by talking to my homeschool evaluator, and she said that if I paid the missed payments right now, she would let me take over the mortgage as written. Luckily, the $2,000 would be enough to cover the past 2 payments. I said that if I could get an agreement on the second mortgage, I would buy it and pay her that week. Now, all I have to do is talk to a lender I had never met and convince her to let me take over the mortgage. Oh boy. So I asked my dad to call her because I was scared she wouldn't take a 7-year-old seriously. He told her that his son wanted to buy the property and would take over the mortgage. I think he forgot to mention that I was 7, but she agreed to meet with us and invited us over to her home. My dad told me that people do business with people who they know, like, and trust. So I decided she should get to know, like, and trust me. We talked for a bit at her kitchen table, and I realized she knew my grandpa. He was a dentist in a very small town, as you heard in the other room. That town has 3 traffic lights, that's how small it is. And she worked for that same town. I was lucky everyone in that town knew everyone else, and that she liked and respected my grandpa. My grandpa wasn't even in real estate. He was just a friend of hers. But when she saw my last name, she figured that I would be more responsible to take over the mortgage than the adult that wasn't paying her. When I asked how much was still owed and how far behind he was, she said that she had never collected a payment, and it had been 2 years. She didn't care about late fees or interest. She just wanted her money back. And I told her I didn't have the $25,000 to pay her, but I would make a payment on the 1st of next month. She said she would let me take over the mortgage, but she wanted paid back in 2 years. But she would lower the interest rate from 10% to 5%. I looked at my amortization table, which is just an app that helps me calculate what my payment would be, and let her know that the building couldn't possibly make enough to pay her back in 2 years. But if she lowered the interest rate to 5%, like she offered to, then I would pay her back in 7 years. And she would get her first payment in about 2 weeks. She agreed, which made me feel great that my second deal was not a house, but a 6-unit, and the feeling that I negotiated it to where I bought a 6-unit for $2,000 as a 7-year-old. When I got in my dad's truck, he told me, the deal isn't done until the paperwork is done. That's when I realized he's going to make me learn how to do all the paperwork for this deal. And I thought, seriously, I had to talk to someone who I didn't know, like every kid's fear. And now I have to do paperwork. Seriously, killing me here. He told me everything we needed to do and explained when working with a private lender, we need to make their life as easy as possible. He did most of it for this deal, but I had to remember all the details of the negotiation. It seemed overwhelming then, but now I can write a purchase agreement, mortgage, deed, and promissory note on my own. The best part is her mortgage will be paid off next year. Her mortgage will be paid off, and I will be making almost $400 a month more. That's how I bought my first big deal. Back to the adult.